They were the best of friends, and that was possible because they worked in the same office and both were young and imbued with the freshness and outlook. Sam Christie was 28 and his Filipino assistant, Philip Latak, was 26, and was just as Sam had been at the agency before. He assumed that he's post-intelligent and industrious.
That is to be expected because Philip is Ifugao, and you don't know patience until you've seen the nice terraces his ancestors built.
You will find that the Igorots, like the Ilocanos, no matter how urbanized they already are, entertain a sense of inferiority. Not Philip. He is proud of his being Ifugao. He talks about it the first chance he gets.
Now, on this December dawn, Sam Christie was on his way to Ifugao with his native assistant. It was last month in the Philippines, and in a matter of days, he would return to Boston for that leave, which he had not had in years. The bus station was actually a narrow side street, which sloped down to a deserted plaza, one of the many in the summer capital. Sam could make out the shapes of the stone buildings huddled, it seemed, in the cold, their narrow windows shuttered, and the frames advertising Coca-Cola above their doorways indistinct in the dark. Philip Latak seemed listless. They had been in the station for over half an hour, and still there was no bus. He zipped his old suede jacket up to his neck. It had been 4 years that he had lived in Manila, and during all these years he had ever gone home. Now, the cold of the pine-clad mountains seemed to bother him. He turned to Sam and with a hint of urgency.
Bursa. Let me take a seat.
Sure, you are welcome to eat. Just make sure we have some left when we get to Ifugao.
He stopped, brought out a bottle of white label, one of the 4 in the bag, which also contained bars of candy, cartons of cigarettes, and matches for the natives. He removed the tin foil and handed the bottle to his companion. Phil raised it to his lips and made gurgling sound.
Now, the gray buildings around them emerged from the dark with white defined shape. The east was starting to glow, and more people had arrived with crates and battered rattan suitcases. In the chill, most of them were quiet. A coffee shop opened along the street with a great deal of clatter and its warm, golden light. Sam Christie could ever see the heavy, peasant faces, their happy anticipation as the steaming cups were pushed before them. The bus finally came, and Sam Christie, because he was a foreigner, was given the seat of an honor, next to the driver.
Ipig? Ipig!
That's my name up here, and that's why I baptized him.
Tell me more about your grandfather.
There isn't much worth knowing about him.
How old is he?
80 or more,
He must be a character.
and the village doctor. Mambo jumbo stop. You know, I was taken ill when I was young. Something I ate perhaps. I had to go to the mansion hospital. And the evening, he came and right there in the ward, he danced to drive away the evil spirit that had gotten hold of me.
And the doctor?
Ha ha ha! He was broke-minded. They withstood it, the gongs and stopping.
It must have been quite a night.
Hell, I was never so embarrassed in my life. Much later thinking of it, his voice became soft and a smile lingered in his thick, pleaded eyes. I realized that the old man never did that thing again for anyone, not even when his own son. My father lay dying.
My brothers.
Shall I bring the candies out now?
He had, at Philip's suggestion, brought them along, together with matches and cheap cigarettes for him.
Private Assistance Program.
You have decided to visit us after all. I thought the city had won you so completely that you've forgotten this humble place and its humble people. I must apologize, sir, for my brother, for bringing you to this poorhouse. His deed embarrasses us.
We work in the same office.
I know, sir.
You see, Sam? My brother dislikes me, like my grandfather. He feels that I shouldn't have left this place, that I should rot here. Hell, everyone knows that the races are good for the eye, but they can't produce enough for the skin.
That's not a nice thing to say.
Ha 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 ha, but it's true. My brother dislikes me. All of them are dislike me. They think that by living in Manila for a few years I have forgotten what is to be a Ifugao. I can't help it, Sam. I like it down there. Hell, they will never understand. My grandfather, do you know that one day I left, he followed me to the town, to the bus, pleading with me and the side time, scolding me. He said, I get all his terrace, but I like the down there, Sam.
They toiled up the hill, which was greasy. All the steps has been gouged out on it for easier climbing. Philip go to small and old house. Americano, Americano. Sam hear the old man raise his voice, this time in anger and not in pleasure. Then silence, a rustling within the house, the door stirring and Philip easing himself down the ladder. On his face a numb, crestfallen look, and without another word, he hurried down the hill, the American behind him.
I had asked him where he could get a gun, and he said he didn't know. And when I told him it was an American friend, and he got mad. He said they took away from him tranquility, me. Hell, you can do anything, an old man, Sam. You didn't bother him at all. Now, tell me, I have spoiled your first day here. The old man wants a feast tomorrow tonight. My bienvenida, of course.
You will be a damn fool if you don't go.
I'm thinking about you. You shouldn't come. It will be a bore and ghastly sight.
But Sam Christie's interest had been piqued, and even when he realized that Philip Latak really did not want him to come, he decided that this was one party he wouldn't not miss. They visited the mansion the following day after having hiked to the village. Reverend Dunn, who managed the mission, invited them for lunch. He was quite pleased to have a fellow American as guest. He was a San Franciscan, and one consolation of his assignment was its meager similarity to San Francisco.
In the afternoons, when the mist drips in and starts to wrap the terraces and the hills, I'm reminded of the ocean fog, which steals over the white hills of San Francisco, and then I feel like I'm home.
They had finished lunch and were in the living room of the mansion, sipping coffee.
You must understand the religion, and if you understand it, then you know why it's difficult to get this God. Then you know why Ifugaos are so attached to it. It's a religion based on fear, retribution, every calamity or every luck which happens. To them, it's based on disrelief.
It's not different from Christianity. Then, Christianity is based on fear. True fear of hell and final judgment.
Christianity is based on love. But the difference, you are in the agency and you shall know the significance of this distinction. Besides, Christianity is based on the belief that man has a soul and that soul is eternal.
What happens when a man loses his soul?
I wish I could answer that. All I can say is that a man without a soul is nothing. A pig in the sty that lives only for food without a soul.
Does the Ifugao believe in a soul?
Is God. He believed in them.
Can a man lose his soul?
You have seen examples. In the city, people are corrupted by easily the pleasure of sense of the flesh. The mass corruption that is seeping into the government and everything. A generation of soulless men is growing up and dictating the future.
How can one who loses his soul regain it?
It takes cataclysm, something tragic to knock a man back to his wife, to make him realize his loss. They are all human beings, but look what is in this mountain. Look country it is for. Let there be no doubt about it. They do not make enough to eat, but there is less greed here and pettiness here. There are no land, robbers, no scandals.
Well, at least the hike did me good. All that walking and all these people, how nice they were. How they offered us wine and sweet potatoes.
You get a lot better cocktails party. How many people in Manila would feel honored to attend the parties you go to?
They are a bore, and I have to be there. That's the difference. I have to be there to spread sweetness and light sometimes. It makes me sick, but I have to be there.
Why are you with the agency, Sam?
Because I have to be somewhere, just as you have to be somewhere. It's that simple.
I'm glad you are in the agency, Sam. We need people like you. We will be luckier tomorrow. I know you have your God, Sam. There is a way. I can steal one for you.
You can't do that. That's not fair, and what will happen to you or to the man whose God you will steal?
Lots if you believe all that trash. I will be afflicted with pain. Same with the owner.
You cannot steal a God, not even for me.
Ha 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 ha. Let's not be bullheaded about this. It's the least I can do for you. You made this vacation possible and that race. Do you know that I have been with the agency for 4 years? And I never get raised until you came.
You had it coming. It's that simple.
You have your God.
Philip, the butlers are ready, and the guests are waiting, and grandfather has opened his wine jar.
Grandfather starts offering a food for idol and start praying.
Amami an wadma nongan. Jayawan mi ngajan mo, yanan ongar an homo mo, icha mi. Anim palubos mo jumatong ami, iten arko, yamun amlong ami, iten nun okhan ci ubremi an Pilipinas. Agpuluton mi anan ongar anamin hodmu yanan namadjangam ijak mi. Hiyanan
Outside, the rhythm of the gong's quick and fierce chanting started. Filled the air, the hand crept under the very skin and into the subconscious.
Here is your cat. I told you I can steal it.
You shouldn't steal it.
What a night. No, you don't have to worry. No one saw me. I did it when all were busy dancing and drinking. I danced a little too, you know, with the old man. He is going to give me everything. His terraces, his spears, his wonders. We danced and my legs. They are not rusty at all.
We're waking up everyone up. Go to bed now and we will talk in the morning. You are lucky to have someone who loves you so much and you did him wrong.
He did himself wrong. He was wrong in being so attached to me, who no longer believes in these idols. Sadek, you have seen this house? It's different, and not because he has the money to build a different house. It's because he doesn't believe in the old things anymore. He cannot say that aloud. Not while he lived with 100 ignorant natives.
It's a miserable thing to do. Take it back tomorrow.
Take it back? Now, that's good of you. Hell, after my trouble?
Yes, take it back.
But there was no conviction in him because in the back of his mind he was grateful that Pidi Platak had brought him this dirty god because it was real.
I won't. If I do, I look bad. That would be the death of my grandfather.
I'll take it back if you won't.
He will kill you.
Don't frighten me.
Hell, I'm just stating a fact. Do you think he would be happy to know that his god has been led by a stranger?
It's no time for jokes. That isn't funny at all.
Sam, I'm sorry I woke you up. My nephew, it's grandfather. I have to leave you here.
Anything the matter?
My grandfather is dying, Sam. He collapsed an attack.
Why? How?
Hell, that should be no longer reason. The feast last night, the dancing and the drinking. It must have been too much for his heart at his age.
I'm sorry.
I'll be back as soon as I can. But don't wait. Whatever your plans are.
How is he? Come, let's have a drink. I still have a half bottle of scotch.
It's the best in the world. Nothing but the best for Americans.
When is Phil coming back?
There was nothing we could do. Our grandfather.
He is dead? And Phil?
He isn't going back to Manila.
And why not? Tell me more. Does his decision have something to do with burial customs and all that sort of things?
It's not matter of custom, sir.
I must see him.
Mr. Christie, you cannot do anything now. You must go back to Manila.
Sam followed him, refled by an unexpected show of rudeness.
Phil? Phil, are you there? Phil!
I heard you.
I thought you would forget. Remember, tomorrow morning we are leaving. I've already packed and I was waiting. You didn't even send word. We will still shop, Phil, and that woven stuff and the utensils. Do you know if we can get them before we leave tomorrow? You can't mean what you say. Come on. We still have many things to do. But if it's against the custom, that is if you have to stay here for more weeks after the burial.
Don't eat. I'm not coming. I'm not going back, do you hear? You can bring the whole mountain with you if you care. The God, my grandfather's God, is it enough payment for your kindness?
Let us be reasonable. I didn't want you to steal the idol, Phil.
You won't have gotten it anyway. Because you are always curious and determined. I could forgive myself for having stolen it. But the old man, he had always been wise, Sam. I killed him because I wanted to be free for these terraces, because I wanted to be grateful. I killed him, who loved me the most.
Don't blame me, Phil. I didn't want to steal it. Remember, I even wanted to return it. Besides, I could have gone on searching until I found one I could buy.
That's it! That's it. You will always find way because you have all the money. You can buy everything, even gods.
Phil, let's talk this over. We are friends, Phil.
Leave me alone, Sam. I have to finish this and it will take time.
Ah.